Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hammer and Pickle podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Driver.
And I'm your host, Zach Martin.
And you may notice something is a little different this time.
You should be able to see us.
See our beautiful forms.
With our eyes. With your eyes.
And this is going to be a constant for the next foreseeable future. And, yeah.
We have video, basically, is what we're trying to say, in a roundabout way.
I don't know. Okay.
This is new for us. It's new for you. We're going to learn together and try to make good podcasts. And with that, we have some Hammer Pickle breaking news.
Joe Brandon, our president, Joe Brandon, as you may know, has gotten COVID. And it's been a week?
Yeah, he probably got COVID a week ago.
And we had heard that he tested negative and was recovering very well. That was until recently, this morning, I think, we heard that Joe Brandon, our beloved president, Joe Brandon, has tested positive yet again.
Yeah, so his White House doctor came out in a letter and said that Joe Biden has tested positive again. He has a Paxlovid rebound, and while he is not showing any more symptoms, he is back in isolation, and we will see how this affects the 79-year-old president.
Well, actually, I kind of have a theory. I think he's dead. I think our president is dead.
Really?
And there's, I have proof. I have evidence.
You have evidence.
So there's the Twitter account for the Democrats. The official Twitter account has posted a video of Joe Brandon doing a speech. Let's just watch the video. Let's see if there's something weird about this video.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
So something seems a little weird about this. If you hadn't noticed, his eyes look...
He doesn't blink.
He doesn't blink? Kind of looks like a Mr. Potato Head. Like he has googly eyes even.
No, it looks like they put on some weird eye tracking filter or something. Like, I don't know, maybe during this clip Joe Biden's eyes were just so bloodshot or whatever that they had to find a workaround. But if this is the best they could do, they are not making our president look very sane or lively or presidential
or dependable or strong. I think our president's dead. I think our president died of COVID, and this is a paid actor, and this is a deep fake.
This was posted 4 days ago, presumably while Joe Biden had COVID.
It still does.
Yeah, you got it again. I don't know if this was something recorded while the president had COVID. This was something recovered before, but no matter the case, this just does not look good for the president's health.
No,
and definitely goes against what his recent press secretary said about how he does plan on running in 2024. So
if there's anything left of our president by 2024, then he's not even going to win anyway. So
I mean, probably not. But I mean, if he can beat the COVID allegations twice, if he can beat the COVID allegations twice, I mean, Trump can only do it once. Who's stronger, the guy that beats COVID twice or once?
You know what? You might be onto something here.
You tell me.
I think if Joe Brandon survives COVID twice, then he will be the strongest president in our history.
I mean, maybe. That's a real test of strength, really. Surviving COVID twice at 79.
A 79-year-old man. I mean, he already has. He's surviving dementia. he's surviving Alzheimer's. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He survived COVID twice now.
Mm-hmm. And
hopefully.
I think us making fun of him would be ableist, honestly, because of how many mental problems he has.
You're right.
Health problems he has.
I apologize to the Alzheimer's community and dementia community. I know what I said was a little bit harsh, but our president, as a representative member of the the Alzheimer's community, I would like to apologize.
I'm gonna say it. I don't care if this is a hot take. People with Alzheimer's shouldn't be in office. That goes for Joe Biden. That goes for Ronald Reagan.
Zach, you're being very ableist right now.
That goes for all of them. I'm sorry.
That's so ableist.
And
I think I'm
you know
done.
what? They shouldn't have guns either. Not
What are you talking? Okay, whoa, back it up a little bit. You're saying our president isn't allowed to have a gun? Isn't allowed to be dementiaed? This is ridiculous. You're being ableist and un-American. And I think I'm done with this podcast forever.
America is when mentally ill people can have guns.
No,
That's freedom.
That's true.
That's freedom.
I am mentally ill and I have a gun.
ADHD.
I know. I'm
the mind killer.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna be part of the dementia community, owning a gun and being president, like Joe Brandon.
All right. So we'll see how Joe Biden handles his second bout with COVID. We wish him the best of luck. And I'm not just saying that because Kamala would be pretty much worse.
That would be horrible.
Kamala's bad. I don't like her.
No, she's very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them are pretty bad.
She's a cop.
She's a former cop, yeah.
Ugh. But
imagine that.
So we wish Joe Brandon the best of luck in his second battle with COVID.
Good luck, Joe Brandon.
This report came out an hour ago. By the time this episode airs,
good luck, Joe Brandon.
We can do the video now. By the time this video airs, there might be more news. So we shall wait and see.
Yeah, there might be news that our president has died and Kamala Harris is now the president. I really hope not, but yeah, we'll see about that.
All right.
But moving on to our next story.
We got some other news about some other Democrats that have been in some trouble recently.
Precisely 17 of them.
17.
Including Ilhan Omar and AOC, some of the very popular, controversial House members.
They call them the Squad.
That's so
Such
lame.
a dumb name.
They dubbed themselves the Squad. These
Did they dub them themselves? I feel like that was what Tucker Carlson just started calling them, and it caught on. I don't know if they ever called themselves the Squad.
I think they may refer to themselves as the Squad now.
Maybe.
I don't know who started it.
But I feel like it was Tucker Carlson, and then it just caught on.
I don't doubt that.
It's AOC, it's Rashida Tlaib, it's Ilhan Omar.
Just all the pretty progressive Democrats in the House.
Cory Bush was there. Veronica Escobar was there.
So what they did, they were outside of the Supreme Court, and they were protesting with a lot of other just other people as well, not people in office.
This was a large demonstration.
Yeah, they were marching against the abortion ban, and they ended up getting all arrested. And there's videos of them being arrested and being taken off the street. They were arrested for blocking traffic or having like a disorderly. I think it was just blocking traffic.
17 lawmakers were ticketed and released on site. There was video about or showing AOC, Ilhan Omar, and various other lawmakers being escorted away from the Supreme Court by police.
Mm-hmm. And the big controversy with that was that they had their hands behind their backs, and people are saying that they were like trying to fake like being in handcuffs and like show that they're in handcuffs, but they clearly weren't. I mean, all of them were raising their fists after where they were like brought to the car. They weren't trying to. AOC came out later and said that she wasn't trying to like fake being in handcuffs. She was trying to she was doing what she could to not escalate the police encounter. That's what she said.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
That's reasonable. Maybe they shouldn't put their hands like behind their back.
I mean,
like that,
I obviously I don't think the police in DC are gonna handcuff lawmakers for something of this nature, even if they were blocking traffic. I think,
and to be fair, they did not handcuff any of the other people that got arrested too.
So all 35, none of them were. I don't think any of them were like actually detained. Or
I watched the video. It was just random people being
escorted,
off.
ticketed. I do think this kind of goes to a larger conversation though, because we did see, like we said, conservatives push back against AOC and this and saying it's performative and it doesn't really do anything, which is there is a fair conversation to be had there.
Yeah.
But also I think that we always, whenever there's protest, conservatives always come out and say like, oh, this isn't the right time. There's better ways to be doing this, blah, blah, blah. So it is a kind of like a lose-lose situation for these congresswomen who usually are the ones at the forefront of progressive policy. Yeah. And I mean, they are certainly not beyond criticism.
No,
but
of course not. I love AOC, but I mean, she makes mistakes. Like,
I mean, obviously, but
the dress to the Met Gala a little bit.
Who cares?
Yeah, it was. I'm just saying she makes some questionable public decisions.
Sure, but when it comes to something like this, it's yes, she could be doing policy, but I mean, I know she's trying at some point. I mean,
people think that they're not trying at all. Like, they're definitely trying to do that.
Well, as a single House member, there's only so much she can do to codify Roe v. Wade, which is something that the past 2 Democratic presidents, I think, are more responsible for not doing.
Absolutely.
Be Joe Biden and Barack Obama.
We're not pinning this on AOC for not, and Ilhan Omar for not codifying Roe v. Wade.
Well, it's that,
they're
but
partially responsible.
It's also, I think, what's the point of kind of getting angry at this from a conservative standpoint? It's like, you're not for her codifying Roe v. Wade, so it's pointless to kind of get angry at something like this, especially when this is a constant, and you see like whenever any protest of any kind will have pushback for not being the correct form of protest, not being legitimate enough, not having enough of a materialist impact, which is fair. But I think that's more of a criticism of protesting and civil disobedience in general, more so than anything like AOC particularly did in this circumstance.
No, I agree, and it's just another opportunity or conservatives are using this as another opportunity to just bash AOC, Ilhan Omar, and the other progressive lawmakers.
Absolutely,
and it really ends up with nothing. I mean, I know that they were able to like push for funding for abortion, or like for charities for abortion through this demonstration. They were able to get some money from that, but other than that, yeah, I don't think there was any other impact.
Yeah.
Apparently, AOC was able to, and the other lawmakers were able to make it back for the vote on protecting marriage equality, which happened right after they did that.
And I'm pretty sure I think that failed, if I remember correctly.
No, I think it passed. Did it not?
Did it pass the House?
I'm pretty sure it passed.
Okay.
Although all the Republicans voted no, it did pass. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
No, there's been a lot of stuff that's coming out of the House that is disheartening, to say the least, about things not getting passed. But yeah. I think in conclusion, I think this is Congress Democrats, the mostly progressive female Congress Democrats, getting their very legitimate frustrations out, joining constituents in a public demonstration of civil disobedience. And I think criticism that pins this on AOC, Ilhan Omar, and others for, why are they out at the Supreme Court instead of writing policy or whatever, I think it's disingenuous at this time. I mean, I know it is, because it's no one's criticizing them who actually like wants this policy to be written. They're just criticizing them to criticize them. So
they're just it's just another thing to bash them for, to make fun of. And
now I feel like we should get into our new segment.
Our new
very
segment.
Special new segment. We're going to start doing this Dumbass of the Week. And every week we're going to have a new dumbass. And
this
I
week,
think we're starting out with a banger of a dumbass.
Oh, yeah. This week's dumbass is
one of the biggest.
He's popping off right now. I mean, he's being searched more than other famous people by a lot.
Kim Kardashian. He is the top G right now.
He is a top G.
He is
by his words.
G.
And, of course, we're talking about Andrew Tate. And if you haven't heard about him, he is quite the character.
We'll just go over some light biography stuff first. He's a former kickboxer.
He's former world champion.
Champion kickboxer.
He was a champion for, I think, 2 different leagues or something like that. So he was a pretty, well-known.
He's got some businesses. His father was a chess grandmaster.
Well, so his father was almost a chess grandmaster. He was basically the equivalent of a chess grandmaster. He wasn't able to get it, but I mean, his father was like impressive. He was like the most successful, one of the most successful black chess players for his time.
Mm-hmm.
He is apparently a war hero for what war I don't know, and what he did to deserve that I don't know.
Also, maybe not the best father.
Yeah, apparently he was a pretty shitty father. I mean, Andrew Tate would say that his father was a good father, but then he follows that by saying, I saw him once a month, and usually when I did see him, he was yelling at his mom or being very misogynistic in general.
Well, okay, none of this matters. Let's just get into the man of the hour himself. So Andrew Tate, most famously known for his Hustlers University, where he has a multi-level marketing scheme where he will teach people how to not be broke and be rich and be a top G.
Be a top G and drink bubble water.
He is making the rounds on the internet, going on podcasts and being on Twitch streams and stuff like that, saying very controversial things. I mean, and these
controversial things.
These are a wide range of things. It's kind of like the funny, innocuous, stupid stuff. Like he's very anti tap water, and he only drinks bubble water.
Only drink bubble water.
Bubble water.
Because bubble water is for top G's.
Yeah, and tap water's for pussies. But then he'll also say stuff like women are the man's property, and that everything the woman owns is the man's, even though that doesn't follow vice versa.
And it kind of makes sense given his past occupations. In Romania, he had collected and groomed lots of women. I don't know the exact number. Like I think it was like in the 30s, somewhere there. Women to join his like cam girl business, and he groomed them into doing it. He specifically stated, and he thought this was a very alpha thing to say too, that none of these women wanted or even thought about doing camming before actually doing it, and they were all his girlfriends too.
Yeah,
he was a digital pimp, and he groomed all the women. These are very bad things that he is flaunting and showing. And he's describing it as like an alpha thing to do, and he's tricking all these young men into believing that it is.
No, absolutely. He's being extremely successful right now. If you go over to TikTok or any social media platform,
he's all over it. He's popping off.
And it's not even him. He has a network of people clipping his content.
Yeah, from his multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah, and then all of them have Hustler University affiliate links in their bios. It's spreading like wildflower. All the comments. I mean,
wildfire. Wildflower. It's spreading all around like wildflowers.
Wildfire.
Yeah.
The comments are a mixed bag between people saying Tate W, Tate L, stuff like that. He has been receiving more pushback in the weeks as he's been growing, getting bigger,
because
and
people actually know he exists, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
But at the same time, more people are clinging towards him and liking him. I remember the first time I heard about this guy. I didn't even know who he was, but he had a tweet go pretty viral about he was him posing next to a Bugatti, and it was Star Wars. Never heard of it.
Oh, I do remember
that. I'm too busy getting bitches. All right, let me see if I can find the tweet. It was funny.
All around, not a very good dude.
Not a very good dude.
And he has a lot of influence right now because he's like we said, he's popping off. He's been joining podcasts, or not joining. He's been guests on podcasts, several popular ones too, like the Nelk Boys podcast, or was it a podcast of the? Yeah.
Nelk Boys podcast.
It was on their podcast. He was on Aiden Ross's, if anybody knows what that is.
XQC is a very big Twitch streamer.
Right.
You had hit him on. He's been doing the rounds. He's all over the place.
And the reason we're even talking about him in the first place is because he has so much influence right now, and there are so many people that are literally buying into his multi-level marketing scheme, or buying into his just misogynistic bullshit that he spews in general.
So let's start with this clip on women are property.
Do you think that women are property?
So I think my sister is her husband's property. I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything which is really, truly even controversial. The whole world agreed that the woman belongs to the man when she decides to give herself to a man.
I mean, that's pretty outdated of an opinion. In the most in the most charitable interpretation of that, it's outdated. In the more realistic interpretation, it's extremely misogynistic and abusive, and
he said
problematic.
Women are property.
Yeah,
he did it, guys.
And if he like, I've seen him talk kind of further about stuff like this, and he goes like, "Oh, well, it's a relationship. What she has is mine," and it's like, that's fair. Except he will then turn around and be like, "Oh, but if it's my stuff, it's not hers." So he does not care about the relationship in the give and take aspect. He is a taker. He has a woman that he's in a relationship with, and he takes from her, and is not expected to give anything other than he thinks he's providing like monetary value because he's rich.
It kind of sounds like he's a pimp, and that
absolutely,
he grooms women.
Yeah,
I don't know. I might be reading into the lines a little bit here, but he might be a pimp.
Mm-hmm.
These are baseless accusations, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But
And I mean, he's got other great things on women, such
If you
as
sit around and only do what you feel like doing, what would that make you?
I don't know what.
Think about it.
Okay, let me think about it for a second. If you would only sit around and, a pussy?
Close. They have a pussy.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the edit of that video, but Jesus Christ, I mean, his insinuation is, oh, women do what they feel like doing, and men are logical alphas who go beyond reason, and that's
it's
categorically untrue.
It's just really reminiscent of the narrative that like the Fresh and Fit podcast, if you've heard of them, they push. They're another like group of very misogynistic manosphere people on the internet that, I mean, they kind of say the same shit. They're like, you know, men can go have sex with any women that they want in a relationship, and then the women that they're in the relationship with cannot.
They say men can't cheat if they just have like sex with a girl, because when men cheat, they have to be like emotionally invested in it. And whenever men cheat, they're not emotionally invested in it because it's just sex. But if a woman cheats on her boyfriend, she has to be emotionally invested in the sex, because women don't have sex without emotional like weight. It's just all bullshit.
How do people grow up thinking like this? They have moms?
They don't have dads, apparently.
Yeah, I guess not.
Their dads are too busy playing chess at the club.
No, but okay. Going back to Andrew Tate's dad, like I had heard Andrew Tate talking about like his dad's behavior, and he would spew misogynistic bullshit to him. I mean, he would talk about like how his mom was raising them like bitches because they were getting a haircut. Or no, he didn't want to get a haircut. He was so worried about his hair. And so he like forced him to get a buzz cut or some shit. Like that's the type of it makes sense that his dad is from the military. Like military dads, it makes sense. Like it just sucks. Like he was a terrible dad, wasn't there for him, and then taught him all this misogynistic bullshit, and then he became rich, and now he has influence.
I mean, it really goes beyond really what his dad did to him.
Right.
I mean, this dude's been in and out of countries. He can't go to London because he's being investigated. He can't come back to the U.S. because he's being investigated for human trafficking and sex trafficking. He's been
That's why he's in Romania.
He's on video. There's proof of him like beating a woman.
Well, there was a video to come out that was like the same woman, and she was kind of implying that it was consensual, but it's sketchy at best.
Yeah.
I don't trust that.
No,
I really don't trust that. I mean, with what he said about like coercing women into being sex workers and just forcing them to do stuff in his relationship in general, I don't doubt that he either forced this woman to say that or something along those lines. Like he is a very bad dude.
No, absolutely. But I mean, he does have one opinion that I hate to say I do think he's spot on about.
And what was that?
So if you only drink sparkling water, you only drink rich man's water. I explained this to someone, some bumbuckler, and of course he replied with the typical, but I don't like sparkling. You don't like sparkling water? You don't like water? Yeah, but the bubbles. The bubbles? You scared of bubbles, you little bitch? Doesn't taste of anything. It has bubbles in it. Or you're afraid of bubbles? Fuck is wrong with you? This is another full-grown man. And for your safety, I strongly suggest you do the same. Get all your friends around. Call every friend you have right now. All of them. Invite them over for a party. When they all turn up, pour out sparkling water. Pour it all out. Pour it out. Say, everyone, let's have a glass of water together. Water can't hurt anybody. We're all probably dehydrated anyway. What's the worst water can do? Everyone, let's have a nice glass of water. And everyone's going to drink it. And when you see that one dude, oh, there's bubbles. Never speak to him.
I completely agree.
Well, you drink
as
like a whole case of LaCroix
as
a day.
a LaCroix connoisseur, a sparkling water fan. You should all be drinking bubble water.
I am over here to represent those who prefer still water. I despise sparkling water. I think it's for pussies.
Beta.
I think sparkling water is for pussies, if I'm being honest. Like, come on, you want a little fancy water? You can't just drink natural water.
The government gives that to you for free. I'm a top G. I buy my own water.
Maybe. What if I told you I buy Evian water?
It doesn't count. It's you gotta drink sparkling water. You scared of bubbles?
I guess I'm just not a top G.
You're not a top G.
I guess I'm just not a top G.
No. But in conclusion of Andrew Tate, don't listen to anything he says.
No.
He's wrong. unless he's talking about water.
Disregard that last statement, too.
No. Drink bubble water. Be a top G. Drink bubble water. Respect women. And drink bubble water. You can do both.
And start your own multi-level marketing scheme.
If it involves getting more people to drink bubble water.
Precisely.
All right. So we got a little bit of tragedy on your side. I think you got something to be sad about, don't you? You've experienced some loss.
The worst thing just happened. A childhood favorite snack, one of my childhood favorite snacks, the Choco Taco by the Klondike Company, has recently been discontinued. I'm so sad about this. Have you ever even had a Choco Taco?
I never had a Choco Taco.
You're missing out. Well, you're gonna miss out forever now. Sorry to say.
I mean, it looks like I could probably make one of these if I...
Shut up. So, the Choco Taco, a childhood delicacy, an American delicacy, is a waffle cone in the shape of a taco, filled with ice cream, with chocolate and nuts on the top. A beautiful treat.
Looks quite scrumptious if I do say so.
It is.
I got a picture pulled up right
I was
here.
quite sad. When I heard the news, I was telling him, when I would go to a gas station and crave ice cream, I would look in the box and instantly I would look for Choco Taco. That was the number one thing I would look for. And as of the past couple of months, I wasn't able to see it, and I was wondering why.
Now you know.
They hate me. The Klondike Company hates me. They want me to suffer in this time of... I mean, our president is dying. Like, monkeypox is going around. They hate me. They don't want me to have anything.
This is the worst.
This is far worse than monkeypox. This is far worse than our president dying. This is
the accumulation of our inflation going up, the ongoing recession that hit, monkeypox, COVID, Trump, Biden, all into one times 1,000, and that's what I feel when the Choco Taco is discontinued.
No, I would rather have Choco Taco undiscontinued than have Roe v. Wade back. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. I would rather have Roe v. Wade.
I'm not saying that I am against abortion. I'm just saying I am more pro Choco Taco.
I agree. No, I think I would rather have Choco Taco back.
Well, I was more of a sour snow cone guy that was my go-to at the ice cream truck.
The hell?
Sour gumball at the bottom? She was gas.
No, mine was the SpongeBob ice cream.
Really?
Gumball.
Those were like the worst ice cream.
Yeah, but you get the gumball.
That's why I got the snow cone.
Okay, those are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The snow cones are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But no, those like character, like melted,
those are
disshapen. I mean, it's cool, but it is like the worst ice cream.
I will admit I got those several times.
I probably got them on occasion, but it's just like you're always eating it, and you're eating it for the character. It's like not.
No.
It's not ice cream.
No.
It's just like.
It kind of tastes like plastic. Like, a little bit.
It does, but.
Unlike the Choco Taco, the most brilliant frozen snack.
But yes, alas, Klondike is trying to focus on the rest of their lineup,
which is Klondike bars and Klondike mini bars, mint Klondike bars, maybe. I don't know.
I've seen those. Yeah, they have them.
It's bullshit. I say we start a petition, we start a movement, a revolution. Bring back the Choco Taco.
Okay. Maybe if Hammer and Pickle can get enough following, share with your friends, and maybe we can one day bring back the Choco Taco.
It's up to you. It's up to you, the viewer, to bring back the Choco Taco.
Viewer. Now, we could finish up by talking something that is back after a long wait. Something that we are both very excited.
Boy, it's back.
The weebs are going to be eating a bit today on Hammer and Pickle because Hunter x Hunter is coming back.
That's right. The creator, the creator of the manga of Hunter x Hunter, Hunter x Hunter spelled out, created a random Twitter like a month ago.
It's like
a couple months ago at this point. A random Twitter, and didn't even say anything about it, posting that he has started writing the manga again. Now, for those of you who are lame and don't watch anime or read manga, and specifically Hunter x Hunter,
stop listening to the podcast immediately.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Go read all of One Piece, then come back and you can watch again.
Okay, don't do that, by the way. But Hunter x Hunter, Hunter x Hunter, the best anime / manga in the business, in my opinion. It was on hiatus was supposed to be just forever. It was supposed to be just.
It was on indefinite hiatus.
Well, who thought it was going to come back? No one.
I held faith.
So the guy who writes it, he was on hiatus for health conditions, probably having
4
to do
years.
with wrists or his back. I don't know. Manga artists, they work so hard. They work so hard for so little
He's
pay.
drawing 20 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, you get carpal tunnel instantly. Like they put a lot of work and they put a lot of damage on their body too. So for him to come back and start his probably most famous work again, it's just joy.
We're both very excited about it. No sign really on if the anime is going to come back. I mean, it doesn't really seem like it because there was content for them to animate if they wanted to.
It wasn't finished though.
It wasn't. Yeah, the arcs aren't done yet. So maybe by the time these chapters are written, it seems like he's got. I think
There's a big fan base for it,
I think he said 10 chapters are in the work,
Yeah.
which is about 2 manga volumes.
which is
which is a good
half
amount.
an episode of my anime.
No, it's
It's like a couple episodes.
It'd be like 5,
Yeah. Probably less than that.
4.5.
Either way, not enough for a whole season.
Well, also they're probably going to be long. They might be long chapters too. We didn't think about that. They might, because I don't think he's writing for Shonen Jump anymore. So they're probably longer than like 11-page chapters.
Yeah, you can do whatever he wants now.
So maybe we'll be getting a good amount of Hunter x Hunter content in the near future.
I hope to God that we do, because Hunter x Hunter is probably my favorite, if not one of my favorite pieces of fiction, fictional worlds in general.
It's in my top 3 for sure.
For those of you out here that have not watched Hunter x Hunter, you need to do that immediately. That needs to be your top priority.
An official Hammer and Pickle recommendation, Hunter x Hunter.
Order. This is an executive order placed by the Hammer and Pickle co-presidents. You have to watch Hunter x Hunter immediately.
Yeah. I'm seeing right now actually that they're doing a Netflix adaptation of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh.
It's live action though.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Not really excited about that. That's his work
that's any
before
good.
Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu
But-
Hakusho.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter chapters coming soon.
I'm excited.
Some good news.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And let's wrap it up with another last bit of good news before we end today's episode. One of my favorite grocery stores is joining the ongoing union rise that we're seeing from a lot of chains, such as from Starbucks, Chipotle, other chains are starting to kind of unionize at a pretty significant rate, and Trader Joe's is joining those ranks with their first unionized location in Massachusetts.
Let's go Bougie Aldi.
Yeah. I actually thought they were owned by Aldi. They're not. So
It's Bougie Aldi. Don't get me wrong.
it is, but yeah. So
No, but that's great. Like, especially considering we're in a time of really low declining. Well, I guess not quite anymore, but a period of declining unionization.
Historic decline. Yeah.
Like since the 50s or whatever, we've been declining in unionization, and it's become stigmatized as well. I mean, like the only reason people shouldn't be in a union. Well, there is no reason, but the only reason people think they shouldn't have unions or be in a union is because of corporate propaganda. The big guys at the top, the capitalists at the top, they're saying unions are bad because they fuck up the wages, or whatever bullshit they spew. It's bullshit. Unions are the most powerful or the most useful thing for the proletariat, the working class.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, once workers
One of the most important.
figure out or gain their collective bargaining power, divided we beg, united we bargain.
Right.
I mean, as someone who works at a retail grocery store, this is good news for my field.
Like whatever side of the political spectrum you're on, I don't know how you can argue against a union. It is giving power to the people. It allows them bargaining power for increased wages, for more benefits, for more protections for themselves.
No,
There's
absolutely.
there's everyone in the working class on any side of the political spectrum.
No, absolutely. When it comes to problem or discussions of unionization and workers' rights and stuff, it's not fair to look at it from a left or right. It's a pro-worker, anti-worker position.
And the only people that are anti-worker are people like Elon Musk and
Or-
Jeff Bezos that are at the top.
Capitalists. The ones
Capitalists.
who, under the current structure of the economy, the ones with the power are the capital owners. Under a more fair structure of the economy, the ones with the power are the ones who make the stuff, the workers.
Agreed.
They don't want to have that happen. So any power that workers can gain, claw out of the hole that they've been dug into, is good. I hope the trend continues. Congratulations to the members of Trader Joe's Hadley, Massachusetts, for their unionization. It was passed 45 to 31, so not the widest of margins, but win's a win, dub's a dub.
Indeed.
Yeah. Right. I think that's gonna do it for our first video episode of the Hammer and Pickle podcast,
And the first of many, hopefully.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Join
you.
us next week.
Join us next week. Goodbye.